Have you ever heard a memory told so many times that you're pretty sure you were there and you're like, oh no, I wasn't? We have one of those in our family, and it's Jimmy, and he's the youngest of Rob's siblings, and there's a story about him and the boot and him trying to put this boot on. Well, the thing is Jimmy was like 1 or 2. He has, no memory of this, but he's heard the story so many times. It's like he was there. I've heard this story so many times. I feel like I was there. And so what is that about our mind and the past? Now, the point is, or the point I want to make is how important it is to keep a journal. Because our mind is so amazing and so great that it will make connections sometimes where there shouldn't be, or make memories that never really happened. And so it's so important to keep a journal. When my late husband, Rob, when he was sick, again, this is way before social media, and there wasn't really, we had email. This is, 2007, so it's not like too long ago. But I thought I would never forget what was going on because it was just so much was going on. But I had to update. We had family all over the world, and I had to update people with what was going on. And instead of sending out a group email, a good friend of mine told me about the website Caring Bridge, and so that I could update Caring Bridge. And things changed so fast that every day I updated this website with what was going on. And I honestly thought I would never forget. And when I went back and I looked at it, I was just amazed at the things I'd forgotten. And I was so happy that I was kind of forced, in a sense, to keep a journal during that time, because I've been able to go back to that journal and to all the posts from Caring Bridge, and I've been able to go back and to remember things and recall things that I had completely forgotten. And it helped me write my book, and it helped me with my kids. It just helped me so much. And so keeping a journal is great. It is so good. And I love going back. I was cleaning my office and I found all these old journals. And I'm not good at it. I go through times when I'm really good, and I'm not. Right now, I feel like I only write when something really good happens or something really bad happens. So then my journal seems like it's But I went back and I read it, and I just, times when we were struggling, when Rob and I were poor college students with a baby, and or when we finally had graduated and we had, these 2 babies, and he had his first job and we could barely make ends meet. And I'm just in awe of the amount of faith I had and trusting in the Lord that we were doing what he wanted. And it's good for me to share with my children that as they go through these stages, like, look, I actually do know how you feel right now because I've been through that, and I can show them. And sometimes we do gloss over in our mind that those poor college years, that, for an example, were so great. And I could read how it was hard, and it was hard to struggle. And it was, not knowing, just making ends meet. And I think the hardest thing for us was our time, and Rob working full time, and we had a baby, and we were going to school, but we did it. And so it's so important to write these things down, to write down the good and the bad. Because sometimes I read even the bad and I'll be like, oh, I did it. I overcame this. Or sometimes I'll read the good, and it's great because I'd forgotten how wonderful it was. Little memories of when my kids were little and how great that was. So if you can, try to keep a journal. If anything, for future generations, so that they can go and read it and see what it's like, especially these last, year and a half, how going through a pandemic and going through how hard that was. And as they look at the pictures with us wearing masks and they can understand how we felt when we went through this. So you don't have to go back and write everything. Just start where you are now, because that seems overwhelming. Just start where you are now. And you be the author of your history. I hope you all have an absolutely, absolutely wonderful day. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching or listening to my podcast. You can find more podcaster videos at perfectlypattytalks.com, or you can search me up on Facebook or Instagram at Perfectly Patty. Thanks again.